Next question. The next unit we are going to be looking at is the choice to live my life with purpose and meaning. I think that was where we almost ended the first unit, how to tie yourself on something that will make you happy is by trying to find out your purpose in life. And that is what is bringing us to unit 2 of this Executive Wellness Leadership Program. The choice to live my life with purpose and meaning. Now, Mary Louise Wiley says, if you want your life to be meaningful, go out and do something about it. But unfortunately, it is not many. There are not many people out there that are doing something about their life. Some people are just accepting their life the way it is. They are not leading their life. They are not orchestrating their life. They are not ordering their life. They just accept what comes their way. But if you really want to live a meaningful life, you have to do something about it. Don't just fold your hands and allow life to pass you by. Make something out of life. So let's start by asking our question. What is the meaning of purposeful living? What is the meaning of purposeful living? Now, to guide our conversation, let's hear the wisdom quote from Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington says, remember that wherever our life touches yours, we help or hinder. Wherever your life touches ours, you make us stronger or weaker. There is no escape. Man drags man down, or man lifts man up. Booker T. Washington. Now, what is the meaning of purposeful living? What does it mean to you to live purposefully, to live your life with purpose? What does it mean to you? It doesn't have to be my own purpose. What is living life purposefully? What does it mean to you?
Okay. I think we already started this conversation.
Exactly.
Where I mentioned that living a life of purpose is fulfilling your God-given assignment on earth.
Exactly.
Okay. I, in particular, believe that being here on earth is not by mistake.
It's not
there is a divine
biological accident.
Not a biological accident. Nobody is an accident. We were all planned. Even if you are not, even if your father does not approve you, you were planned. God knew you were called, and you are here on an assignment.
Exactly.
You are not here to be idle. You are not here to be desolate. You are here to fulfill a life of impact, a life of purpose.
Exactly.
A life that will impact others, because purpose is never selfish. Purpose is never isolate or desolate. Purpose is always a spread. A spread is a spread. You will have impact in the life of someone. In fact, as we have right now, there are people that are waiting for us to rise so that they can rise.
Exactly.
If you are fulfilling your purpose, others will rise.
Exactly.
So for me, purpose in simple definition is fulfilling your God-given assignment on earth.
So why not just make it your own personal definition? Fulfilling my
God-given assignment on earth. And it is not stereotyped. Yeah. Mine we definitely not be yours. We have different assignments. We are not here on the same assignment. So my own God-given assignment on earth is my purpose.
That was a very powerful submission, Adenike. That was beautiful. Thank you very much. God bless you. So, who else wants to add something or say something completely different from what has been said? Was it something that is slightly different, or something that will complement what has already been said? Remember, no right or wrong answer. We are just having a healthy conversation. Everyone is free to contribute. Nobody is going to judge you by your contribution. We are just having the conversation together. And we are to observe, to reflect.
Okay. Think, I want to say something.
And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there's this extract from what I read before now that I'm trying to bring out. That's why I'm using my wife's account to talk. What is purposeful life? A purposeful life is when you are moving towards a big goal in your life that aligns with your values and passions that makes you happy. This is harder than it sounds because finding purpose in life is not always easy. That was just an example from our previous discussion. Is one of the pillars of happiness.
It's one of the pillars of happiness. Yeah, I truly accept that. Yeah, I said I truly agree with you that purposeful living is one of the pillars of happiness. Yeah,
yes.
I concur with that.
And it does not necessarily mean you cannot be happy without a purpose. There are so many people that are purposeless and they are still happy. So to some examples of purpose in life could include providing for your family. Like as a family person, one of your purpose for me as a family person, my purpose is providing for my family, living a successful life, making positive connections with others and enjoying those around me. That means my immediate family and then my people I'm in contact with on daily basis. I also have a purpose of like, okay, I want to travel around the world. I want to see places. I want to visit places. Then all these things align to me knowing, okay, how do I live my life? How do I make it work out? So I think the question is what is purposeful living? To me, I think living a purposeful life is how will I put it? Like someone said, I think an unknown author said, and I quote, as a recovering perfectionist, anxiety warrior, and depression fighter, my purpose in life is to empower myself to empower others. An unknown author said that. Now linking that to me, myself, like at first, when we are talking about happiness in our first discussion, purpose was just showing in all the stages, all the questions, purpose. So I think purpose itself to me is life.
Is life.
Yes. Purpose is life because everything is. Please,
you can mute yourself, please. Please.
Joy, can you please mute yourself? Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, back to what I'm saying. I said purpose itself is life to me because it's intertwined with every aspect of human life. So I think to define my own purpose in life, I cannot copy and paste another person's purpose because we have different purpose. Like what's your purpose A for person A is different from what person's B purpose is. So to me, I believe we have to find and define our own individual purpose in life.
That's very powerful. Thank you. In fact, what really caught my attention is that purpose is life. Because without that definition of life within the framework of purpose, life will be meaningless. Thank you. Do we have any additional contribution? If not, we can try to do a conversation summary by saying living a purpose or living a life of purpose is a life that touches other people. It is not a life that is lived for yourself. It is a life meant to help others reach their full potential and destination. I think it was somebody who was saying during the first unit, the person mentioned that there are people's destiny that are tied to our destiny. If we are not living our life purposefully, what we are doing is that we are not just affecting our own life, we are also affecting the lives of people that should benefit from our purposeful living. And I think that's very powerful. And of course, our leadership mindfulness thought is a life of purpose is a life you have been called to live with clarity and intentionality. And it is a life that touches other people. Let me rephrase or let me recap that leadership mindfulness thought again. A life of purpose is a life you have been called to live with clarity and intentionality. It is a life that touches other people. Now, how do I find purpose for my life? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? What needs to happen for me to find purpose for my life? Now, let's guide our conversation by trying to reflect on the wisdom quote from Pope John Paul II. Pope John Paul II said, "The people of hope are those who believe that God created them for a purpose and that He will provide for their needs as they seek to fulfill His purpose in their lives." So let's begin to wrap this question. How do I find purpose for my life? Let's begin to unpack the question.
Okay. Okay, let me contribute to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So to find purpose for your life, to find your own purpose in life, you don't really need to go far. It is a purpose. It was given to you by someone. And that person is God, the one who created you. So it's something you have to go back to God and ask.
You have to go back to your source.
Yes, your source. And ask Him, what is my purpose? And then your purpose is never really far from you, really. If you can ask that question and look inward, you will find it. You will find it's never
outward. You need to look inward.
Look inward.
Yeah.
You will find. But you have to look. You cannot just be there and not have the desire and think you will find it. No, you must desire to find it. The way you desire to find it. I think there's a particular scripture of the Bible that says, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. That is willingness. We bring good things to you. Once the Creator says that you desire it, you want to know it, he will release it to you. So a desire is very, very important. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, what really caught me from everything you've said is the fact that your purpose is not really far from you. You don't need to begin to look around or begin to check the environment before you find your purpose. Unfortunately, that is what a lot of people do. They look around rather than to look within, because it is within yourself that will flow the purpose we are talking about. And to find your purpose, Adenike also said you need to return back to your source. You need to return to your source. You can only find your purpose in God, not in anything else, not in anywhere else. Your purpose can only be derived from God and can only be found from within. Thank you for that powerful contribution. Now let's hear what somebody has to say on the chat. I think this is still Adenike saying, oh, this is a past. Okay, this is Idowu Joy. She says, you can know your purpose by going to God, who gave you and search your desires, who gave it to you and search your desire, the things you love to do. Okay, so what she is saying is that you can know your purpose by going to God and then search what you truly desire in life, because what you desire in life can truly point you to your purpose. And sometimes your purpose can be expressed through what you love to do. You need to pay attention to what you love to do. And these are ways through which we can arrive at our purpose in life. Thank you, Joy, for that contribution. Yes, Toby, go ahead.
To buttress Idowu Joy's point, I think our hobbies, our likes, our dislikes, the pointer to God, as in what God's purpose for us is.
Yeah, what you hate.
Like
to see,
everybody, God
love to see, you know.
Yes. So some people will tell you, oh, I love cooking, I love traveling, I love this, I love that. Meanwhile, their mission, their purpose, their vision is around what they love, what's that hobby, what they like doing is. So I think, to me, how do I find purpose is, what can I do for free without, as in, without that I'll be willing to do, even if I'm not paid, even if I am not getting any physical, how will I put it, as in something I'm comfortable doing without stress. Even no matter how tired I am, once they say, okay, let's do this, okay, I'm up and running. So I think
guys to do it.
Yes, even without having any ulterior motive, or probably hidden motives that you. So I think that's another way of what you love doing the most. What you love, probably to some people, they'll tell you, I love singing, I love listening to music, I love even carnal itself. Some people will tell you, oh, I love taking this particular brand of something. So there is something in it for everyone. So everybody has a purpose. And God, like we have rightly said, because everything we are saying is just like buttering the point that it is from within. You have to know what God ordained you to be. Some people, just like the biblical Samuel, the prophet, he had been ordained right from, even before he was conceived, that if you can give me this child, I will give it back to you. Exactly. And when he was given, it was, and at the same time, we have to know where we, how will I put it, where we are standing, where we are, because our purpose might not align with our environment sometimes.
Exactly.
So we have to be able to like understand what we want for ourselves. It's just like you saying, oh, excuse me. I love swimming. I love swimming. But you're always finding yourself in the forest. So how do you practice the swim? How do you, that's just for an example. So I think purpose itself is from within. We go to our maker, we go to God. That's another topic on its own. How do we hear from God? How do we know this is what God is saying to us? God, I want you to show me my purpose. I want you to show me my purpose. Everybody has the relationship each and every one of us has with God. It differs. So, and some people would know when God is talking to them. Why some people, it was not even God that would talk to them and they would think it's God that is talking to them. So I think most times you should just look inwardly. Pray to God for divine guidance, because everything has to, you have to take a chance on everything. You might think, oh, this is what I love doing, and in the end, it is not the purpose. It's just part of your hobby. So it's a little bit interwoven. So I guess from my own end, to find purpose is to look inwardly at things that I can do without any form of okay, nobody's prioritizing me to do it, nobody is forcing me to do it, something I can do willingly. So I think that is my own point.
Then I may want to add something you can do willingly and joyfully. Now, what the point you have just raised now reminded me of that Nigerian, I can't remember her name now. Maybe you can remind me. That Nigerian who just got herself into the Guinness Book of Records for cooking for
Hilda Baci.
What? Linda Baci, right?
Hilda Baci.
Hilda Baci. Now, you'll be surprised. Somebody is already in the Guinness Book of Records for just doing what she loves to do. She loves to cook. And by doing that, she did it for 4 straight days. Not sleeping, not sitting down, just cooking for almost 100 hours or thereabouts. And at the end of it all, she got herself in the Guinness Book of Records. So you really need to pay attention to what you love to do. That is where lies your destiny. Now let's wrap up our conversation. One way, or one of the ways of finding purpose for your life, is by talking to God. Somebody already mentioned that. Another way is by finding what you love to do. Somebody already mentioned that. You can also do so by creating or writing a personal mission statement for yourself and setting plans or goals for yourself. That is another way you can find purpose for yourself. Now, here is our leadership mindfulness thoughts. Vision doesn't speak at the beginning. It only speaks at the journey's end. So don't worry yourself if what you are doing now is not producing result. What is important is for you to generate the results after the end of your journey. Now let's move to the next question. What does it mean to live life with meaninglessness in life? What does it mean to live life with meaninglessness in life? That means living a life that has no meaning. How do we determine that this is what the meaning of life is? How do we determine that meaning of life? And what does it mean to live a life that has no meaning? Now let's try to guide our conversation by the wisdom quote from Martin Luther King Jr. He said, if a man has done nothing for a cause worthy of dying for, he is not fit to live. If a man has done nothing for a cause worth dying for, then he is not fit to live. So let's engage with that conversation, with that question. What does it mean to live with meaninglessness in life? What does it mean?
Okay. from my own understanding to this question, I think it's synonymous to you having a purpose in life. Because if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a meaning.
Yeah.
So it's meaningless. You living a life. Just like you coming to the earth and coming just like the snake that crawls on a rock without leaving a mark. So I think living a meaningless life automatically means you come and you just live the useless life. So I think to me, anybody that is living a meaningless life should probably find a U-turn and start making a mark, because you need to leave a mark, a good mark at least behind for people coming after. There are so many people that we see as heroes today, that we see as role models today, that if not for the fact that they came and left a mark, so many things will have gone haywire. And there are so many people that history will never forget. Why some history did not even remember them at all. So I think we should all try and strive to live a meaningful life, not a meaningless life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, do we have any additional contribution?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to add to what he has said. He has made a good point. I want to have that if at the end of your journey in life, there's no one person that you can point to that you have built, you have raised, you have elevated, then you have lived a outright meaningless life. If I put it that way. Outrightly
meaningless life.
Absolutely meaningless life. Because there's no way you can live a life of purpose, like we said the other time, that you will not raise others. You would have lifted someone.
Yeah, you
would have. Yes, you would have reproduced
yourself and other people.
You have impacted.
And impacted. Yes, thank you.
Now, if I might just add another question to that, we've done well. That is very beautiful. Now, if I might just add to that question, how do we really determine that meaning? How do we ascribe meaning to a purpose or to a cause? How do we put that label that this is what is giving me meaning? How do we ascribe that meaning to that cause that we are engaging ourselves in? How do we ascribe that meaning to it?
Okay. To me, I think I'll go back to one of our topic in our personal development topics that we've done. Yeah. Every organization in our settings, in our African, even world settings, you get into an organization and you see a vision statement, you see their mission statement, what they are actually, what the main cause for starting the business, what they wanted to do. It's just like a house style, like how I put it, a script they are following. Yeah. This is who we are. This is what we want to do. Yeah. And it serves as a guideline to what the company is doing or is into. So now we're transcribing that to our normal everyday life. Like, okay, I am now on planet Earth. I'm alive. I'm human. You need to first understand, how can I live a meaningful life? How can I be of how can I be someone that would how can I be someone that will live a life of impact for others to emulate? How can I live my life so that others will follow my footsteps? Yorùbá will say, so how do I live a good footprint for legacy? Yes, for people to. So I think the first thing first is for a company, for an FCMJ, probably a production company, you know what you want to produce first before you have the vision. You know what you want to go into first. So to to now create this meaning to life itself, you need to understand and then know the area. You need to first understand, like, okay, just like what you are producing, and you need to know your product. What am I giving out? What am I dishing out? And then you'll be able to know how to now do the whole market segmentation and all. So I'm sorry if I'm linking it to business, because that's the only.
It's okay. You are right, because this is a program that is meant for people who engage with the workplace. So you are right on point. Yeah.
So that's I just need to like link it to my field so that I can be able to explain as I taught to me how I understand. So we should first understand, okay, I want my life to have meaning. Fine. What steps will I take? Okay, school, I want to take up a course. Even this training, this class we are having, it takes sacrifice for us to be here. So it's because you are trying to create a meaning, you're trying to impact yourself, like you're trying to add value to yourself. So I think you just have to put your feet in the right places at the right time, and you are able to know what you want and what you want to achieve in life. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that powerful contribution. Do we have anybody else? And then we can do our conversation summary.
Put it on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to say something. You mentioned that what is even the meaning?
Yeah. How do we ascribe meaning to our purpose?
Okay. How do we ascribe meaning to our purpose? Well, when we defined, when you asked the question that, how do we discover our purpose? Number one, you cannot discover your purpose until you are certain from the giver of the purpose, that is the giver of the assignment, the creator, which is God. So even that's why that we know that it's inward, it's in you. It's not something outside of you. It has to be, he has put it in you, but you just don't know it.
Yeah.
So to ascribe meaning to that purpose may be a tough thing for we to do.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's the creator that we ascribe meaning to it. It's the one that will say, well done, O faithful servant. Well done in this thing. I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say.
I get you.
I believe that whatever meaning you still ascribe to it outside the opinion of the creator will still be narrow.
Thank you. Now, let's look at it.
That's my point of view.
Thank you. Now, let's look at it from this point of view. Now, this is your purpose. And this is the meaning on the other side. Now, how much meaning do you want to ascribe to this purpose? In other words, what we are saying is, to what extent are you willing to support, to withstand, and to continue to stand for your purpose? And I believe that is what Martin Luther King is trying to say, that if any man has not found something he is ready to die for, he is not fit to live. When we call something our purpose, it should be something we are ready to give our all for. Everything about us, we must be ready to give it all it takes. It must not be partial commitment. It must be absolute commitment. We must be ready to die for it. We must be ready to go all out for it, whether it is convenient, whether it is not convenient. And that is why somebody like Esther will say, if I perish, I perish. That is what meaning does to our purpose when we attach meaning to our purpose. That is the extent to which Esther was able to go. If I perish, I perish. Thank you. Now, conversation summary. Meaninglessness can be described as an inability to know what to do, or just sitting around doing nothing, allowing time to pass you by. It is a life without purpose and living in one's old shadow. I can repeat again. Meaninglessness can be described as an inability to know what to do, or just sitting around doing nothing, allowing time to pass you by. It is a life without purpose and living in one's old shadow. Now, here is our leadership mindfulness thought. Meaninglessness is often expressed as lack of purpose, motivation, or reason for living. It can be accompanied by an expressed loss of beliefs, once held dear, or a struggle to find comfort in faith practices that once brought solace or joy to us. That is what meaninglessness could sometimes mean. And let's go to the next question. What in life can give me meaning? What do you need to do in life to really give you meaning? Now, let's guide our conversation with the quote, with the wisdom quote from Paul Reinhardt. Paul Reinhardt says, give life meaning through your commitment. Give life meaning through your commitment. So what in this life can give me meaning? Yeah, the floor is open.
Add value. Value being added
value
to
added.
Things. Yes, value added to
value.
what we do gives meaning to life. Because when you are someone, for instance, you are in an organization and you are always up and doing, it will get to a point the organization would not be able to do without you, thereby giving you an edge, even making you successful. So I think for you to give life meaning, everything attached to God, because God itself gives life meaning. Just like he has preferences. I'm not sorry to say that God has preferences. Even in the Bible, he will prefer someone to the other. It's not as if he's biased. Everybody has a purpose and everybody has their own destiny. So even in the life we are living, no matter where you are, no matter the little, the humble beginning, no matter the location, no matter what you have, if you are living a life that adds value to others, to yourself, you definitely live a life of meaning.
Wow,
thank you.
That's very beautiful. Living a life that adds value to yourself and to others. In other words, living a life that contributes positively, first to yourself and to people around you. Thank you. Do we have any additional contribution? I will also encourage others to talk so that we can have a more robust view of our conversation. All right. So if we are all set with that, let's do a conversation summary. Now, everything you hope to do in life, I challenge you to back it up with commitment. Without commitment, you can't give meaning to life. Everything you hope to do in life, I challenge you to back it up with commitment. That is what will give it meaning. Now, no matter how powerful a letter written by you is, if you write the letter, put it in an envelope, and mail it to the destination without, if you write the destination there without putting a stamp to it, do you think it will get to its destination? Even if you post it, if you go and put it in the mailbox, the NIPOST people or the UPS, like we have in the UPS, or what do we have in the US here? USPS that we have here. If you post it, they won't mind. They will take the pain to come and return it to your house. Rather than sending that letter to its destination, they will prefer to bring the letter to your house. Why? Because you have not added commitment to it. That stamp you put on the letter is what will get it to this destination. And that is the commitment. If you really want to give your life meaning, you need to add commitment to it. That is what will help you to get to your destination in life. And here is our leadership mindfulness thoughts. Any idea you nurture in your mind that will not leave you no matter what is what I believe can give you meaning in life. Let me repeat again. Any idea you nurture in your mind that will not leave you no matter what is what I believe can give you meaning in life. Now let's go to the next question. Somebody also said, before I go to the next question, I think this is Dami, he said accountability. When one is accountable to oneself and to other people around you, he said, then it means you are living a meaningful life. You know, no, every one of us, we cannot afford to live a life that is not accountable. You are not accountable to God, you are not accountable to yourself, and you are not accountable to people around you. No, that is not the way to live life. You have to be accountable first to God, next to yourself, and then to people around you. That is the way life works. Thank you, Dami, for that contribution. So then we can then begin to talk about living a life of meaning. Now, let's go to the next question. Why do I need to live my life with purpose and meaning? Why? What or not? What is the reason? Why do I need to go through all the stress? Why? Now, let's guide our conversation with this wisdom quote, and the author is unknown. He said, may your life be like the snowflakes. Leave a mark, but not a stain. I believe somebody was saying something very close to that earlier on. I believe it was Toby that was saying something on legacy and footprints. And this is where I think this is relevant, you know, just to help us unlock that conversation a little bit. So let's engage with that question. Why do I need to live my life with purpose and meaning? Why? Why do I need to go through this stress?
To me, it takes us back to our first topic, happiness.
Yes. Happiness.
Yes, if you want to be truly happy, if you want to be, how I put it, if you want to be satisfied that, yes, I lived a fulfilling life, I lived a happy life and a life with no regrets, then it's one of the reasons you have to live a life of purpose and a life that has meaning. So I think, to me, my own view, the reason is true happiness. The reason to live a life of purpose and happiness is true happiness. When you on your own, you are able to say, yes, I've been able to impact these people. I've been able to do this. I've been able to do that. I've been able to be, even you being happy, you being living a purposeful and a meaningful life makes you successful. Be it materially, be it all comes because one good son, they say, deserves another. From you doing the things the normal way, the good way, you are making people happy, one way or the other, it will come back to you and you'll be successful. Even all those things, just like the biblical reference that said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and every other thing will be added to it. So it's just like this. When you, at least even seeking the kingdom of God, you must live a life of purpose. You must live a meaningful life. So it's interwoven. You will definitely be successful and you'll be happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have additional contribution before we wrap up our conversation? Okay, our conversation summary says, the effort here is to concentrate on your future legacy. I believe Toby was saying something like that earlier on. Is to concentrate on your future legacy so that when people remember you, they will remember you as a worthy example to emulate. That is why you need to live a life with purpose and meaning. And invariably, everything culminates in what Toby called happiness. You know, that should be the end goal. Happiness. You are happy, you are fulfilled with all that you have done with your life. And here is our leadership mindfulness thoughts. And this is a question that I'm asking every one of us, and you in particular. What legacy do you plan to leave behind you after you are gone? What is your legacy? What do you want people to remember you for when you are no longer walking on this planet Earth again? What is your legacy? So I want you to begin to ponder on that as we try to wrap up. What is your legacy? Now, the next question to ask us is, how do I align my purpose in life with meaning? How do I bring the two together so that they can function together very well? How do I align my purpose in life with meaning? Now, to guide our conversation, I'd like to quote Ursula K. Le Guin. He said, "It is good to have an end to journey towards, but it is the journey that matters in the end." So in other words, you know, some people will say the end justifies the means. But what he is saying is that what happens in between the beginning of the journey and the end of the journey, what happens in between is what we are talking about here. So how do you align the event that takes place between your purpose and the end of your journey? How do you align the two together? So what we are saying is that, how do you predetermine how you want your legacy to turn out? How do you predetermine it? Now let's engage with the conversation. How do you predetermine how you want your legacy to turn out? Somebody said legacy of excellence. So all the way you want to make excellence to be your watchword. In everything you do, you want to do it with touch of excellence. That is what Joy Idowu is saying. Doing everything with a touch of excellence. Thank you very much. Yes, do we have any other contribution?
Yes, for me, I think like we've said it over and over and over and over again, living an impactful life, like you trying to touch lives.
You see, these things really go beyond ourselves. What we are talking about here really transcends this. I want to eat, I want to drink, I need the clothes, I need the shoe, I need the bag, I need the car. These things is really larger than life itself. We have to learn how to live a larger than life kind of lifestyle, you know, a life of impact, just like Toby said. Thank you very much. Do we have any other contribution? All right, I think we can then do our conversation summary. Now, first of all, purpose means you know what you are doing. I believe everybody agrees with that. Purpose means you understand what you are doing.
Yes.
Now, meaning is doing in life what you really want to do with joy and peace of mind. Do we also agree with that?
Yes.
I think that is the combination. That is how to align your purpose with meaning in life. Understanding what you are doing and doing what you are doing in life with joy and peace of mind. That is what gives it meaning. Now, here is our leadership mindfulness thoughts. Now, I'd like you to reflect on this. Your life is like a cinema that is playing right now. When the cinema of your life ends, what do you want to be the lesson for the upcoming generation? Now I can take that once again. Your life is like a cinema that is playing right now. And when the cinema of your life ends, what do you want to be the lesson for the upcoming generation? I think that is a food for thought for all of us. Now, before we close, do we have any question that you want us to look at together and deliberate on before we close? What is the boiling question on your mind right now? Let's talk about it. One of our rules is that anybody is free to ask any questions. Any questions. So what is boiling on your mind right now as this lesson is going through your mind? What is boiling on your mind? If you like, you can put your question on the chat. We will read it out and then do justice to it. What is on your mind right now? I'm sure we are reflecting. Your life is a cinema that is playing. My life is, the cinema of my life is playing right now. The cinema of your life is playing right now. When we come to the concluding end of that cinema, what do you want to be the lesson for the upcoming generation? I think we all need to begin to ponder on that every day. So I think I have some questions here. Somebody said, can purpose change? Can one reveal one's purpose? Do we have somebody to give an answer to that question? Can our purpose change in life? Can our purpose change? That's a very powerful question, and it requires a thoughtfulness to really answer the question. Can one reveal one's purpose? Now, let me come into that. Now, our purpose in life can change depending at where you are, the level of knowledge you are when you concluded that this was first and foremost your purpose in life. It depends on how much knowledge or how much information that was at your disposal at that time. I want to say that our original purpose in life is ever constant. It doesn't change. But we can move through phases in life before we eventually come to that purpose. So in that sense, our purpose can can go through seasons of refinement, seasons of change, or seasons of clarity, seasons of intentionality. It can, our purpose can move through phases. And what usually affects our purpose at that level is the level of information that we are exposed to. I can tell you that your purpose can be reviewed. Now, for example, let me tell you how to understand this. Now, what I am doing now, the School of Transformational Leadership that I started about a year ago, I knew I was going to be doing this thing more than 20 years ago, close to 25 years ago now. I knew I was going to do something like that. But I never imagined that it was going to be through this platform or through this means, because the new understanding that I have about my purpose is to conduct the school in an online, using the online approach, which was never in my thoughts at the beginning. So in that sense, I have been able to review my purpose, but the original purpose of, trying to develop people, teach them leadership lessons had always been the same. But I have reviewed how I come to fulfill that purpose. So that is the best way. And that doesn't mean in the future I will not review it if there are other circumstances or situations that warrant that I do it some other ways. Of course, it will be reviewed again. So that is why I said it is the level of information that we are exposed to that will determine the season and the phase we have per time on our purpose in life. So I believe that is a satisfying answer. If that satisfies you, you can just say yes, or just do the emoji sign that you accept that that satisfies you. So do we have any other question coming up? Okay, thank you for that question. That's a very, very powerful question. There are two questions, so the two of them are very powerful, and I believe they've really contributed to what we are saying here. Yes, do we have any other question? Okay, if we don't have any question anymore, I want to say a big thank you to every one of us that has joined us in these two sessions, the Unit 1 and the Unit 2 of this Executive Wellness Leadership Program. We still have 7 more units to go, and I believe we are all enjoying it. We are learning every bit on the way of what this has to do. I believe if people can understand what we have just done here, if people can come to terms with it, I believe that depression will be a thing of the past in our society. And I believe you agree with me. So I want to thank you once again. I want to appreciate you for spending your time to be with us. I hope to see you next week so that we can continue on Unit 3 and Unit 4. God bless you. Bye-bye.